Well, hey guys, my hair is an absolute trifling mess today. I am not at practice because if you watch yesterday's video, which is linked up in the corner, I forgot which side it goes on. It's a card. I got a helmet, NFL replica from Gridiron, and I unboxed it yesterday. So you can go check that one out. Again, if you've already watched it, you understand that we had the possibility of not having practice today. If you were on my live stream last night, for me, Saturday day for the United States, you understand that we had a field issue. I mean, to be fair, the field is torn up, but there's a baseball tournament happening today at the entire club, so we have no open grass. For future references, we do have a backup fields to train on, but it's a little short notice for today, considering that was came in at 8 o'clock last night. So anyways, hopefully that'll be rectified in the future. So today I'm going to be heading by the gym. I'm probably going to do some strength training. Not heavy strength training, just some little bit, because pushing against the bag is not quite enough. And I can hit that thing, or I can step forward and, put one hand out and hold it up, because that'll help when pushing it, when coming in and yeah. I can go through that stuff if people are interested in my thought process behind that one. It's a little bit better now, because I'd seen on Instagram there's an import player who, most of them go to the gym pretty solo because there's not very many import players on a team, but he's in Poland on the Warsaw Mets, and he was doing workouts with the heavy bag, and not the whole kickboxing thing, the exact same things I do. And it dawned on me months ago that maybe I could use one of those bags for such a thing. I mean, it's not a sled, but it's still got weight to it. And I thought about it and working with it, and I saw him doing it. Is it still on his thing? No, it's not. It's from too long ago. Yeah, I responded to him. I go, I'd do that in the gym also. I thought I was the only one to do, but it seemed like a crazy idea. So here's he doing it. He's middle linebacker of the Warsaw Mets, so it looks like I'm doing something right and I have the right mindset. And that was another thing that helped confirm a lot of things. Last night during the live stream, I had to go through I didn't have to. I went through some of my huddle footage, the highlights that are on there. I can't access our video footage because something, but I can access the playbook, and I went over that and made sure, just refresh the playbook in your mind. And I looked at some of my highlights, like the solo tackle from Rotterdam, where at the end of the actual clip, they yell out, "Yay, Theo!" So, it's me. I don't really remember that thing very well, but it's obviously on there, and it was marked in the stats as solo tackle of the running back. And a couple other times where there was defensive end and I came in, because he came around this side, I went in through the B gap, I think it was, and we both met the quarterback and sacked him. So that was that. And then there was another one where it wasn't an actual sack, but it was against Leiden in our home field, and ran through the gap and hit the quarterback, but he had already tossed it out to the running back and whatnot. But it was that one thing, if only I was faster, but it still was a highlight because you hit a quarterback as a middle linebacker. It's fun. It was a stupid highlight at the time, but it was the first one that I actually had clear video evidence of here in the Netherlands. And there are many other games where I've gotten tons of playtime here that we don't really have good film footage of, because the game in Groningen that was 2019 winter, this picture, that picture also, I had Aaron take that one in the locker room. I was doing super good that weekend, or that game. I was hitting the gaps, I was running through, I was, getting the running back to bounce further outside and not make progress upfield through his middle gaps. I was doing real good. And because this picture is the field safety, me, the middle linebacker, and I think our nose tackle, ran the running back and fullback out to the sideline and tackled him. I think he only got 2 or 3 yards that game, that run. So he ran way more distance sideways than he ran up. Bonus. So I mean, that was good, and it was a really cold game. And then I remember all the things that were happening at the Argonauts game. We don't have any film for it because we don't necessarily always have box footage of things, especially that was a football camp. So it was awkward. I was a little bit freaked out because I think I had a fractured collarbone at the time. And I was still a little bit shy around our middle linebacker at the time. I was Will. But Bono was a bit intimidating. He still is. He is still intimidating. This was like, I'd moved here in August, and this was August 2018. We had like 4 or 5 games, and then I went out to Belgium with the team for my first camp and was like horrible social anxiety. But like I said, I have like 4 highlights from the few things I was in. But I have to categorically remind, like, I've been here on this team for 3 years. These guys know bits about my personality that, most people don't because I've been on this team for so long. I've been around them for extended periods, practices and stuff, and 2 camps and, other social events such as the club thing for Hilversum. But with the broken collarbone in 2019 and missing 8 games, 10 in the total season. First 2 happened, broke the collarbone, missed the next 8 games. And then we were getting ready to go. 2019 season was going. We had Leiden, we had this, we had a couple things, we had a faraway, we had Groningen, things were going good. We came back from December break, we had camp, we went out we were doing stuff in Germany. I was bonding with the guys because I wasn't so social anxiety. And, I actually was talking with like Felix and Martine and, and that's probably what made it hit really hard is because it's like I spent a lot of time like bonding with Martine at that thing and talking about just various things in my past and how I'm not as bland American as people would like to think. But this is a family-friendly video. Anyways, and then we went and played against Krefeld, German team, and we were doing practices, and I was making massive progress against our center on various things, and now he's currently starting center for the Cologne Crocodile. It's awkward because I haven't necessarily had the chance to prove myself, and so I feel like I'm not worthy enough, and that I'm using the past to dictate the future because in 8 years of playing, whether it be due to the internal politics of semi-pro football and the internal and homophobia within American football in the United States, and then coming here and actually getting decent enough playtime and just hitting so hard, and just basically taking out all that rage and anger, I broke the collarbone, missed a season, started things were going great. Like I said, I got lots of memories from the Groningen game and then moving on to camp and hanging out with Mikael and getting all that fun stuff. And then I think it was a Utrecht home game. And then we went out and played at Rotterdam, which is where that highlight came from. And solo tackle and it was hella windy and it was that sort of like one of those bad weather games that you bond more with your team. We won that one very handedly, like to the point where like after the game, like I got a friend request from the quarterback of the Rotterdam Trojans, the 010 Trojans. And you know how that goes. When you play so well, your opponent sends you a friend request. So that was weird and fun. But then Corona hit, and our lockdowns went in. And then we only really had 1 game until, and that was in September, October, and that was against a Belgian team. I mean, the Corona stuff, you could blame that we were ill-prepared because people weren't coming to practices, and I understand I was like a month late because various things, because I have to travel more to go out to Hilversum. And so, yeah, we lost it, but it's almost like for stupid reasons, but it wasn't a season game. We were in the process of getting a season worked out, and then we went back into another lockdown, and we stopped practicing on October 15th. of 2020, and we thought we were just we did it again. We literally thought, oh, it'll just be a couple of weeks, we'll wait for this. No, we did not get back to practicing until May. Because they fully closed everything down. I had to go away, we had to stop going to the gyms and stuff at, December 15th. And then, the gyms and things, and then, it was bad. And without gyms and having terrible weather and all that jazz, it hurt. And then I go back to practices and some people, aren't there, so practices. And so then I hear that some of my friends are playing over in Cologne, and that just breaks me, because I was like, why didn't they ask? Why didn't they offer? Why, I didn't feel important to them. I didn't feel worthy. So that's how that happened. It hurt a bit. But it's not that. They didn't even think that. I talked with one of them. It wasn't anything about that. They just kind of got wrapped up in the moment. And so, but I'm not nearly as far bad off as I thought I was, and doing a lot of the huddle stuff and talking with various other people about how things have gone here made me realize that it's just literally been a series of circumstances. 2020 probably would have been a really decent season. We were going on to play the Crusaders that next week. And, and we would have had Lelystad a couple games after that, but, just like everything. And it just happens to be the world is taking the piss out of me, and I'm blaming myself for it, for not being good enough, when there's nothing I could have done to stop the season from closing because of Corona. There's not really anything I could have done about the collarbone breaking. I say there isn't because I probably broke it over a series of time, and I probably should have taken a bit more time. Ready. But that's what I'm doing with this arm, is I don't want to hurt myself during the thing, because if we have games starting up in October, so yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm going to try to get more positive stuff, and it would be really helpful if you guys detect any negative thinking that I talk about, after practices and stuff, or during the live streams, if you just sort of positive spin things and make me remember, because I can easily get into my head about trying to fix all the bad problems and whack-a-mole bad problems and not see the wonderful place that I'm at. And if any of my teammates see this, like I said, I don't know how to cherish what I have, because I'm always striving for better. And the only way to strive for better, to my knowledge, is to fix what's wrong with you. Because I've been told most of my life that there's always something wrong with me. I can't have this because this is messed up. I can't have a job because I'm autistic. I can't play football because I'm too smart. All that jazz. You can't play in Germany because you're too old. Not necessarily, but various things. And there's nothing bad about winning the national championship of the Netherlands, which is entirely possible with this team. They've done it before, we'll do it again.